How's it going, everyone? I hope you're all doing well, and in this day and age, almost everybody has some kind of phone in their pocket. And of course, while there are a lot of positives to this, phones are designed to be as addictive as possible. Bright colors, notifications, and features like always on displays or raise to wake means that your phone is as easy as possible to just pick up and dive into. And this is because phone companies make money when you use their phones. Shocker, I know. So, as a massive nerd who loves productivity hacking so I can get the most amount of work done in the shortest amount of time, I've tried my hardest to find fun, creative ways to take back control over your phone while still making it as functional as possible. So, here are my more than 5 productivity hacks, but some of them were too short to be proper sections, so it's mainly 5, but it's actually more like 7 productivity hacks to help you cram in as much work as possible because you spent the day playing Pokemon Legends Arceus. Alright, so the first tip I have for you is to set up the Apple focus modes. Now, this was a feature added in iOS 15, and it's essentially an extension on the already existing Do Not Disturb mode. Now, traditionally, this would be used automatically for things like sleep, so at night you turn it on, and that way any notifications you get wouldn't wake you up at 3 a.m. But if you wanted to modify this before for work periods, say you allowed phone calls because those are important, unfortunately, you may end up getting a telemarketing call at stupid o'clock in the morning. But with iOS 15, this was expanded to add both a personal and a work mode, which you could set up however you wanted. It also syncs across all your other Apple devices, which is good if you use a lot of those. And of course, well, you can choose whichever mode you want. I've personally settled on the personal mode. I like to allow calls along with messages from people I might need to talk to while I'm working, so I won't need to go into my menu, turn off Do Not Disturb mode, and then forget to turn it back on again. So I personally find this really helpful. Something else they added is actually the custom pages option, so you can actually make a page full of apps. Say, for example, you need email, calls, and something like Lightroom. You can set it so in focus mode, this is the only page that shows. I think that's awesome. You can also dim your lock screen, turn it on automatically, allow certain apps, and if you configure it correctly, you can make your phone a whole lot less distracting when using this mode. After this, we have a fun little feature that I actually only stumbled across recently. A lot of people enjoy working to white noise, myself included, especially people who find music a little bit too distracting. But on iPhones now, there's actually a hidden feature that has white noise just built in. If you go to your settings, control center, then add the hearing option, swipe down or up depending on your iPhone model and click on the ear, voila, you have a bunch of white noise options. You have the option of a stream, rain, the ocean, which is my personal favorite, dark noise, bright noise, and balanced noise. I do actually find myself getting pretty distracted by the normal music I listen to, so I actually do really enjoy just throwing this on and then diving into some work. It also has compatibility with Live Listen, and overall, it's just a really nice feature. So next up, we have one of my favorite third-party focus apps. In fact, I talked about it in the last video, but this one is so good I have to mention it again. So this is Forest. It is a paid app, but it is cheap, and it's essentially a Pomodoro-style app, so 25 minutes on, 5 minutes off, all while growing your very own digital tree. Now, don't get me wrong, it is a really good app vanilla, but as soon as you turn on the deep focus mode, this is where the app really starts to shine. Basically, this mode will stop you from leaving the app, otherwise, in plain terms, your tree will die. Now, while this is useful, sometimes you do need to pull up notes on your phone or use it for something work-related, which means that this isn't always the ideal focus method. But if you're really trying to dive into some distraction-free work, then Forest is a fantastic app for this. As I said, it's been one of my favorite apps for a pretty long time now. I use it regularly, and I probably will continue to use it regularly. So yeah, that's Forest. Next up, we have app limits. Now, I'm sure you've stumbled across this before while you were diving into the settings, but if you're really trying to get some work done and the allure of TikTok or Twitter just pulls you away, then this is where app limits can really come in handy. You can, of course, set it to 0 minutes, then disable this after you've finished your work, or you can just set sensible app limits and keep them on permanently. Now, don't get me wrong, it's not perfect. Honestly, I really think Apple should add a focus mode, which would essentially just allow you to block certain apps at certain times of the day. Yeah, I think that'd be a good feature. However, if you get creative with your app limits and aren't willing to just temporarily delete apps, then this is a fantastic fantastic option. Okay, so next up, wallpapers are nice. Finding the perfect wallpaper for you can take days, even weeks. But once you get it right, it truly is perfect. Well, I'm gonna ruin that for you by being a nerd. Yes, one of the more radical things I've tried in the past is to change my wallpaper to something totally plain, like just plain white, black, or grey if I'm feeling spicy, and this will make your home screen significantly less distracting. Now, what I will say is if you want to try this, try to stick with grayscale colors, as this will lead to the least distracting background. And honestly, while this one is a little bit extreme, in fact, I'm gonna show you in the bonus tips how you can do something similar, but without changing your whole background. I mean, it's definitely a fun tip nonetheless. All right, so some bonus tips. First off, turn off raise to wake. Now, this is something that I would strongly recommend anyway. It just makes your phone so much less distracting because your eyes won't catch a glow every time you raise your phone to your face. Good for cutting down your screen time as well. Next up, turn on color filters. Now, this is what I was talking about in the wallpaper section, because this can make your phone much less nice to look at. Now, there is a grayscale one by default, which is the one that I personally use, but you can also just add a really intensive color tint. I find that red works really well along with some reduced brightness, and overall, if you follow some of these tips, then there's a good chance that you'll be less distracted by your phone and more productive. I mean, they work for me. All right, guys, so that's it for today. I hope you've enjoyed this one. Let me know, by the way, what are some of your favorite productivity tips? Feel free to let me know in the comments. I always enjoy reading those. As for now, though, as always, thank you for watching. Remember to like the video if you want to see more content like this, then smash that subscribe button. I'm done for now, and I will see you guys in the next one.